David, obviously we can tell there's difficult conditions here today. Norwich played so well as well. Is there an element of relief that you've been able to walk away with all 3 points?
Well, we knew we came here to play against a difficult team because I think they improved the last couple of games with the new manager. They are with more confidence. I think they showed today that they are playing much better. But it's 1-0. It's a big 3 points for us. I think the team shows character again. We tried to press the whole game. But at the end, the last 15-20 minutes, we give the ball away too quickly, so they create some problems, and then we defend quite well.
And the game-changing moment fell to Cristiano Ronaldo in front of goal from the penalty spot. Was there ever any doubt in your mind that he would score that?
Well, he just makes himself just scoring goals all the time. It looks like he's not on the game, but then one chance, one goal. And then, like I said, we defend really well, compact as a team, and yeah, massive points for us.
It is massive points for them because, as we've seen from the Premier League table, it puts them joint 4th in the table with West Ham. And I guess this is a conversation I don't think we thought we'd be having, especially after the Watford defeat. So in some respect, there are positives to take, of course, the biggest one being the points.
Well, the clean sheets, obviously. Points, clean sheets. And any time you've got a goalie like David, you know he's going to keep you in games. And you got Ronaldo, you got Cavani, you got Bruno Fernandes, Jadon Sancho, Marcus Rashford, Anthony Martial. I mean, think about the talent that they have. If they keep clean sheets, they'll win a lot of games. And I think they've got Brighton next, then they've got Newcastle, they've got Burnley. You know, their next fixtures, the next 8 or 9, are they're heavy favourite in every one of those games. So they should find a way to climb up the league table. Top 4 is the bare minimum for this United team with the squad that they have. That's for sure.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and there's been a lot of talk about Manchester United of recent, and to see them just sneak into joint 4th there, I think it shows what they're capable of. Like Owen touched on there, they've got a very fortunate fixture list up until, I think, March. They only play West Ham in the top 4, so we'd expect them to pick a lot of points up over this Christmas.
Well, he talks about consistency, players refereeing the game, questionable decisions. Can you understand his frustration?
I think that's a frustrated interview. I think it was a penalty, without doubt. Max Aarons, there's no reason for him to have his hand on Ronaldo's right shoulder and drag him back. Listen, I think Ronaldo's probably bought it in the politest sense, but he gives him the opportunity to buy it. You can just watch his right hand here on his right shoulder. There's no need, and he does yank back. It's a penalty. I think Dean Smith has obviously gone into that interview hot under the collar, frustrated, because ultimately his side did play well and they probably did deserve something out of the game.
It's a nailed-on penalty. Honestly,
no question.
It's the clearest, one of the clearest all weekend. There's no way he can say it's not a penalty. I know he's frustrated and he's upset. They deserve something from the game. I agree with him. But that is a nailed-on penalty. You can't... When you're in the box, he's right, he's got to stop Ronaldo jumping. But when you're in that position, you don't put your arm around somebody's neck. What you do is you bump them. You just give them a little bump with your hip. And the ref can't really see that. Once you put your arm on someone, he grabs him initially there, he knows he's going to jump, and then once he pulls back there and his arm's on his neck, I mean, it's the easiest call ever.
When he does that, the ball's, it's evaded Ronaldo, it's gone over him. I don't even think Ronaldo can win that header. I think the ball's too high. But as the ball goes over him, he sort of yanks him. It's just a needless bit of play from Max Aarons.
Well, as for Manchester United, it's 2 wins from 2 in the Premier League, a couple of clean sheets. Here's their boss, Ralph Rangnick.
Well, Ralph, what's your verdict on the performance? You've got the result you wanted. What about the display from your team?
Yeah, I mean, it was a very intense game, very physical. I think they played well. They didn't play like a bottom team, to be honest. We had some problems in the first 10-15 minutes. And then from then on, we controlled the game, but we didn't always find the best possible solutions. Defensively, we did well. Tactically, also in the first half, we didn't allow them to have too many shots on goal and chances. So 0-0 at halftime. I told the boys we need to increase speed and intensity in the game. Second half was a little bit better, but at the end, we were also lucky to have a clean sheet and 2 or 3 great saves by David DeGea. But at least we've got the 3 points, another clean sheet, but still a lot of work to do. In the second half, I was not at all happy with the high amount of corners that we gave away. So anyway, we hope we've got the 3 points, and this is most important.
Over the 2 Premier League games, have you seen areas that you knew needed improving? Has it reinforced your view on that?
I mean, obviously we have conceded the highest amount of goals in the top 10 of the league. Now we have 2 clean sheets, which is good, but still need to improve on that, especially in away games against physical teams or teams that attack high, like Norwich did today. So it's also a question of body language, of physicality, and this was one of the major issues that we could have done better today.
Is this exactly what you've expected from the Premier League? That you've already mentioned it. You come to a bottom club and they play like that.
Yeah, I haven't seen that many teams play against a top team like Norwich did, so they really did well. I also said that to their manager. That said, we didn't play like a bottom team, but in the end, of course, we need to compete on that kind of level and be physically ready. And as I said, there is still space for improvement in this area.
There's a lot of work to do, a lot of games to come in a very short space of time. How much are you looking forward to those?
Yes, I'm looking forward to it, but as long as we win the games, everything is okay. But again, it has to be step by step. In 3 days is the next away game at Brentford. It wouldn't be any easier than the one today. I saw the game last night on TV, and they're also a very physical team. So, we need to take next steps.
Thanks, Ralph.
Thank you.
Just said the games are coming thick and fast over this period, so I don't know how much time he'll have in training, but when he does have them in training, I mean, what exactly is he going to have to work on with them? How do they improve?
Offensively, big thing. I mean, Man United's best player probably the last 2 years has been Bruno Fernandes. In the 2 games against Palace and today, barely had a kick. He was barely involved in the game. He got subbed off. He was super frustrated when he went off. And really, you think about Jadon Sancho and Bruno Fernandes there. You know, you expect that weighted pass to Dalot to be perfect. You know, he just kind of overhits it. And the end product in the final third wasn't there today. You know, whether it's the weight of the pass, the decision making. You know, Glenn mentioned at half-time, forward runners. You know, there wasn't that willingness and that intent to really get in behind and stretch Norwich. And again, the final balls just weren't really there, sloppy. And considering how many great players they have on the pitch, you'd expect more to come from them. And I think it will come with a bit of time together.
Yeah, we just see here, I mean, it's a simple ball, isn't it, Owen? And you can see from Ronaldo's stature, he wants to hit that ball first time, but it's on his back foot. Again here, Rashford does brilliant, takes on the defender. Just a bit of composure, plays it behind Ronaldo again. He wants it in that space, has to check his run and just can't get his hips over it. But it's just a small bit. There was just no fluidity at all in Manchester United going forward. And we mentioned the talent they've got. If they can turn it on and they can sort of understand each other more through, I don't know, patterns of play. Ralph Rangnick wants them to play a very different style of a 2-2-2. Listen, if they can get that right, they could be a real dangerous proposition. But at the moment, it's not quite right. With
that system that you're mentioning, the 4-2-2-2, is that more demanding of certain players over others? For example, the fullbacks are important in that system, aren't they? But who are you expecting to see more of, or is it the whole team collectively?
Well, no, I mean, essentially football is a team game. It's about winning, you know, so it's not about one person, one individual, but the team creates the goals together. And normally you speak about United, you think you got centre forward and you got wingers, flying wingers, dribblers. Yeah. You know, United don't have wingers anymore because everybody plays quite narrow. You know, Jadon Sancho, Bruno Fernandes is really narrow. Marcus Rashford was quite narrow. And basically, the space out wide is for the fullbacks. So Telles and Dalot. And look, they can use the ball pretty well. But every great team wants to get their best players on the ball. United's best players are, let's be honest, you know, is Bruno Fernandes. And in the 2 games he's played, he hasn't found a way to get on the ball and get on the half turn and create. Because let's be honest, he's one of the best creators in the world of football. So, look, I think they'll get there with time. But offensively, I think we expect a little bit more. Defensively, keeping clean sheets, Ralph's right, it's the starting point with David De Gea. But attacking-wise, bit of fluidity, as Glenn mentioned, they got to find something.
Have you ever been in that position, Glenn, when you've had a new manager step in and it's a totally different way of playing, a different system? Does it take time to get used to as a player?
Yes, it does take time, especially when you've got a big change of system like Ralph Rangnick's done at Manchester United. I think not only is it the change of shape, it's he wants more intensity out of the players. I think he wants to be more physical, as in he wants them to run more, press more. But that should come easier. If you've got a high line, they should be pressing in half a pitch rather than what seemed to be a full pitch under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It was the thirds So the defence, the midfield and the attack were sort of very disjointed.
OK.
Dean, we were very close to you on the touchline. You sounded aggrieved. Is that how you felt?
Yeah, he was, because, you know, I've seen the penalty back, and does he make contact with him in the box? Yes. Has he got his arm up? Yes. But I can show you 5 or 6 different challenges in the game, whether they're inside the box or outside the box, that weren't given. And we're after consistency. There was no consistency there. And I just felt it was too easy for Manchester United to referee the game today, because Marcus Rashford gave himself a free kick in the first half.
So it wasn't just the penalty, it was an accumulation, it was a build-up during the game for you?
Yeah, for me there was a build-up during the game. You can't have players refereeing the game, and it felt like it was. And I'm going to sound a sore loser, and yes I am. I don't think our performance deserved to lose the game today, and there's some questionable decisions out there.
Do you speak to Max as well about what more he can do and his positioning, or do you just look at the referee and say that wasn't a penalty?
Well, Max has got to make contact with Ronaldo as the cross is coming in. Otherwise, you know, he gets one of his leaps and gets miles above you, and he's made contact with him. Was it enough to make him fall backwards? I don't think so. And I don't think anybody else here. It's a soft penalty, but there were soft moments throughout the game where he didn't give them. So, you know, you have to be